We know that missionaries go places where most people have not heard about Jesus. They share about how God knows them, loves them, and sent his son to take the punishment for their sins. But missionaries also need to teach new believers how they can follow Jesus and how they can share their faith. So tonight's story is not about the American man who went to South Africa, but about the South African boy who believed that Jesus loved him and what he did with his faith. Well, Raymond Bush and the other missionaries were packing up their supplies. It was time for them to leave the jungle and head back south, back to the mission station. A little boy came running up to them. "Preacher, preacher, take me with you, please. I want to learn more about Jesus and how to read his Bible." "What is your name?" asked the preacher. "And do you have the permission of your parents and your chief?" "My name is Tisese," said the boy, "and I will get permission." Well, the next morning, Tisese and the missionaries left. They journeyed for 9 weeks by foot out of the jungle, through the grasses, through the hot desert sands. By day, it was an exciting trip. Tisese saw all kinds of animals. And at night, it was a little scary. They would have to build a ring of fire around their campsite all night so the bugs wouldn't bite them and so the lions wouldn't eat them. But they arrived safely at the mission station, and Tisese became known as a boy who was always asking questions. One morning, on his way to school, he stopped by the hut of Raymond Bush, and there was Mrs. Bush. She was sweeping dirt into a little pan and then tossing it out the door of her hut. "Mrs. Bush, what is that thing in your hands?" "Why, this is a dustpan." "Thank you," said Tisese, and he ran to school. He sat in his chair, he raised his hand. The teacher said, "What is your question today, Tisese?" "I don't have a question. I don't want to be called Tisese anymore. My name means the animal who runs through the woods. I want a Christian name. I want to be called Dustpan." "Dustpan? Why Dustpan?" "Because I want to sweep the dirt of sin out of the hearts of people in my village." You can be called Dustpan. Well, little Dustpan was often seen praying that he would do a great job sweeping the dirt of sin out of the lives of the people in his village, and he was always telling people about Jesus. Many months passed, and it was time to return to the jungle. "Oh, take me with you. I want to tell my father, my family, my friends about Jesus." "Tisese, it's such a long trip. Why don't you stay here? There's so much more you need to learn in school." "No, my father can be killed in a tribal war. My mother can be eaten by lions when she's gardening. My brothers, my sisters, they may die before they learn about Jesus. I must go back with you." And so they started off on their journey. Dustpan's feet grew tired. Then they grew blistered. "Oh, Dustpan, why don't you stay in this village here? We'll get you on the way back, and then you can try again to come with us next year." "No, I must tell my father, my family, my friends about Jesus." And so they bandaged his feet, and off they set out again. At one point, they were traveling through some tall elephant grass. It was really hard to see anything around them. Suddenly, a lioness leaped out of the grasses and attacked one of the men. Mr. Bush pulled out his gun and fired. He did not kill the lioness, but she did run away. The men gathered their belongings and ran away as fast as they could. That afternoon, as they were setting up their ring of fire, they looked around. Where was Dustpan? Oh no, it was too late. It would be dangerous to leave the ring of fire. Had the lioness eaten Dustpan? The men prayed, "Oh Lord, you are in charge of everything. Please protect this little boy with his heart for sharing Jesus." In a little while, they saw the grasses moving. "Dustpan, is that you?" "Yes, God has saved me." The little boy came out, but he was walking even slower. His blistered feet were now bloody feet. "Oh Lord, thank you for this little boy and his heart for souls. He's a better missionary than I am," prayed Raymond Bush. Well, they set back off after on their journey, and they made sure Dustpan was with them from then on. They eventually reached Dustpan's village, but now the battle had just begun. Dustpan's father, he was one of the most dangerous witch doctors around. He would often kill people who didn't agree with him. In fact, he was known for killing over 600 people every year. But Dustpan prayed, and through his faith and his love, his father asked Jesus to be his savior. His mother became a follower of Jesus. His brothers, his sisters became followers of Jesus. And then Dustpan started sharing Jesus with his friends. The following year, when Raymond Bush and the other missionaries returned to Dustpan's village, there were 364 new Christians waiting to be baptized. All of that because one little boy wanted to sweep the dirt of sin out of his village. Boys and girls, who will you share Jesus with?